Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 23rd of August 2020. Welcome to video number 240. I want to continue the subject of our demons, and today I want to talk about how to confront them, how to deal with these situations or these things that we are really afraid of. And I talked about it a little bit in video 202 or 3, but I talked about it from kind of a different perspective. But today, because we kind of opened this Pandora box, let's just go and do a deep dive into how to conquer our demons. So as we talked about yesterday, one of the important things to understand is that every one of us have this kind of problems. We all struggle with something. We all got our demons. We all got the situations or things that we don't know how to deal with, and they raise our emotions. And as I said yesterday, there are two major reasons why we have those. One, because there's a pain, something that we try to run away from, and second, there's some pleasure that we want, but we are not satisfied because we don't have it yet. And these are not the only two, but two major ones. And one will basically kind of show in your life as a result or some kind of channeling of your anger, which might end up in violence. And second, might show up as a lust or anything combined with your needs, which in most of the cases, in our case as men, would be something having something to do with lust or sexuality or intimacy. And that's why you might see this duo many times in movies, in books, in everything: death and lust. Something just something for you to check and think about. But there's one thing that I kind of learned years ago that was surprising to me, but was kind of surprisingly successful when applied. And you probably know that because many people say you've got to kind of confront your problem. You've got to face your demons. You cannot run away from them. And trust me, I've seen so many people, as I said many times before, that trying to run away from their problems, and sooner or later, these problems just basically hunting them down. And this whole deal ends up being terrible situation because many times it gets you in the worst possible moment. And then you say, but it's, why now? It's like, sorry, mate, you've got to deal with it right now, even though it's the worst moment. So we all got these problems, and we all have to face it. And the facing it is the best way to do it. But let's go and try to look at it in a very specific situation, because what doesn't really mean to face it? Because many times we do face it, and then it all there's blowback and it blows up in our face, and then we think, but I'm supposed to face it, and it didn't work out because you do it wrong. So first of all, know that it's everybody's problem and we have to face it. But second, how to do it smart. Listen, there's one rule that what I just talked about. What I like to do is kind of do the testing of whatever happens. And I kind of face my demons with kind of embracing it, saying, okay, what would happen if I would do that? And there are just two examples. One, let's say that there's someone who makes you drives you nuts, makes you angry every time you see this person. You just boil in rage. And you always think about smashing this person straight in their face. So then I ask I sit down where there's no emotions, nobody around, and just I've got these issues with this. What would happen if I would follow what I feel? What I would do exactly what I think? And then you may think, well, hitting your boss in the face would not probably go well. And the same thing with doing that, with your friend on the street or your brother, because he drives you nuts and he basically makes your life miserable for so many years. Because when you think about it, then you say, is that really what I want? is the kind of impact on my life, the consequence of me doing exactly that, would that be exactly what I want? And probably not. Because no version or no situation that you kind of try to solve with violence would probably pay off. And there's the second situation. Maybe there's a girl in your workplace and you say, wow, we're so close. She's so beautiful. She's amazing. We've got such a good, energy in between two of us. I just really want to sleep with her. So then I sit down in my chair and I think, okay, what would happen if I would go for that? And then you may think, okay, what would happen? And maybe it's gonna go well because she's the person that she knows that we just have to just deal with it and just get it out of our systems. But then what would your wife say? What would your kids say? What would your friends say when they would know that you just slept with someone else? And you see, the problem is that there's so many kind of things that might happen that you cannot foresee, that you'll be surprised. Because maybe in the first situation, you're gonna slap your friend or your boss in their face, and then for some stupid reason, someone recorded that, and then it's not only you having issues with that guy, but then there's a police involved, and then you will end up in jail probably. Is that what you want? And then in the second situation, maybe she would be okay with that, or maybe she won't. Maybe she will record you, and then all of this is gonna just explode in your face. But maybe something will happen that you would not be able to perceive. Like someone will find out, and because you're a manager doing something important in that job, she'll be fired, not you. Or maybe she had a better position, but because of some reason she's going to be fired, and now she's having issues with paying her mortgage and whatever. And now she's not angry at you because you slept together, but she's angry at you because she ended up in a situation much worse than you did. What happened then? Or, as I heard some time ago, there was a guy in the company, he slept with he had an affair, and he basically found out the same month or month after that he had twins with his wife, and then a month later he found out that he had twins with the girl that he slept with, had an affair with. That's a win. Do you want that? And listen, it's not about putting a fear in your in you. Just whatever you're gonna do, it might have negative impact or consequence. It's not about that. You've got to decipher, is that what you really want? Because maybe it is. Maybe it's just your fear of doing something that you're supposed to do. But many times it's just giving yourself a chance to look what will happen if you do that without just reacting and acting on emotions when you're angry, or you're feeling this lust to this girl. Because then you'll sit down and say, I don't think I want to deal with it. It's not worth it. So then point number 3. There are 2 things I want you to, especially when you sit in your chair with no emotions attached. First of all, think, what is really the problem? Because maybe this guy did something to you and he didn't even know about it. He didn't realize that was the impact for you, that how you've seen the situation. And you just anger at him because that's your problem, not his. Or maybe he is a jerk and he did it, against you. And then what you're supposed to do? Slapping him in the face is not an option here. So then what? You're gonna be in grief for the rest of your days? Maybe you're supposed to just forgive the guy. Maybe you even go publicly and say, listen, I forgive you. Because I'm just a better man. I'm not gonna work with you anymore. I'm just gonna do whatever I can, or to deal with the situation on escalating it if you're working in a company or something. But maybe forgiveness is the way to go, because you'll just release that and you close the door of feeling bad for the rest of the days. Because if someone did something to kind of with premeditation, you won't be able to do anything about it. You're not able to reverse time, but you'll have to learn how to deal with it. And then the same thing with the girl. Maybe it's not about her. Maybe that's the problem. You're gonna sleep with her, and then you know that it's just this whole emotions and lust is gonna fade out, because the deal is not that she's so wonderful, but it's just that you have issues with your girl. Your relationship is not going well as you would like to. There's no intimacy in between two of you, and you just look something to to rebound, or you're just doing to feel something. So then sleeping with her is not an option. Fix your relationship. Think about what you can do to fix the problem in your own relationship, rather than trying to find a solution outside, which will never solve the problem. So first of all, know what to do, what is really the problem, and then know what to do. What is the best way to achieve, to solve the problem that you're struggling with? Because there's always a way, but you need to be able to proactively sit down in your chair where there's no emotions involved, no people involved that are part of this whole equation, and being able to find a better solution and reach for it. Because that will make you feel like a guy that have balls. You will have feeling that this is the way it's supposed to be done, and you're going to be proud of yourself. Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Every one of us has some demons. Every one of us has situations or things that we struggle with. And so many of us are stupid enough to fall for this trap, to just react with emotions. Just go with the flow, what I feel and do, and then we've got to pay the price. Many times the price is high to pay. And even worse, if you're not the only person who have to pay the price, maybe your wife, maybe your kids will have to pay too. And then you will feel like a double failure. Trust me. So that's why be the smart one and kind of deal with this situation proactively. Sit down in your chair without emotions. Find what's really the problem. Find a solution and reach for it. Then you'll be able to feel like a guy, and then you'll be really be able to be proud of yourself, because this is how you mature in the way you think and in the way you act. So think about it and do something about it, because it's easy to be an idiot. But only being smart and only being patient pays off in the long run. So be that guy. If you like this video, like, share and comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think, what is your experience, and if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, see you tomorrow.